started. Let me make sure this is still up. Okay. Part two. Hopefully StreamYard get itself together. Ain't nothing wrong with my Wi-Fi. Okay, immigration is among the most political questions of 2024 security. In January, the Congressional Black Caucus has an obligation to act on behalf of its base. That's the Black community is disproportionately impacted by the current policy on immigration and the unpredictable StreamYard of asylum seekers. This pissing me off. To date, the body of 60 members, 3 Senate Democrats, 55 voting House Democrats, and 2 non-voting has been missing in action. The skirting of the duty is largely the result of being beholden to campaign money. Oh my God, business support and Hispanic and progressive factions of the party. Now it is time for the Black Caucus to stop. CBC members must shift their reticence and shine a spotlight on the mean correlation between the rising level of immigration and the declining forces of Black workers, particularly men. That is a fact. For example, the Office of Immigration and the Economic Status of African Men, a 2010 Black employment rates and Black incarceration rates, as immigrants disproportionately increase the supply of workers in a particular skill group. The wage of Black workers in that group, the employment rate again, the employment rate declined and the incarceration rate rose. And look at the construction industry. Blacks dominated that at one time. Now that is, the Mexicans have taken that construction, and I gotta say, and we all know the Mexicans do a damn good job. They do. And their rates are cheaper. It is. You do not find many Blacks in the construction industry anymore. In the years since, the surge of economic immigration has eroded the standing of Black labor even more. It caused T. Wilford Fair, president and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Miami, to write an article where he questioned the loyalty of the CBC to the Democratic Party's immigration policy. The lasting effects of uncontrolled mass immigration on Black Americans are plainly obvious and have been well documented through our country's history, he laminated. So how can Black politicians in good conscience advocate for a more expensive immigration policy that will continue to do us harm because they've taken George Soros' money? And clearly, they don't care about the Black constituent. Don't. Clearly, the CBC has a duty to protect interests of over 18 million Black Americans it represents, even if it cuts against the grain of the party. That's a fact. No doubt this is a tricky subject for Black Democrats because many take pride in a legacy of supporting non-discriminatory immigration policy. The 1965 Immigration Damn, from Asia and Eastern and Southern Europe is among solidarity with the plight of immigrants as people of color instead of Black Americans. Even though immigrants from predominantly Black countries account for about 575,000 of the estimated 11 million immigrants in the country illegally. When Congress returns, the CBC must hear how people are under duress from the helter-skelter border crossings, unclear enforcement policies, red state busing of asylum seekers to blue state sanctuary cities, unpredictable competition for jobs and housing, and lack of progress on immigration reform. It means acknowledging the failure of the Biden administration to secure the border, but helping it to find a way forward. To start, it would be prudent to untangle the meaning of popular terms used by the press to describe the border dynamics. For example, economic immigrants, and that's all these are. So for the people from Haiti or Sudan, or it should not be treated as such. Totally agree 100%. The term migrants refers to mass movement of workers within a country, such as the wasteland migrations of white farmers known as Okies, the Great Depression, or relocated blacks to the urban background of World War. Such is not the case for economically distressed populations passing through Mexico, Central America, Venezuela, Cuba, as described by Project Hope, a non-governmental organization that assists healthcare workers with the crisis. This is so true. Rather than seeking political asylum, most are seeking to take advantage of a legal loophole to bypass the normal immigration process. Facts. They freely express a desire for access to work, housing, and permanent residency. They speak of wanting to take care of their families, even as their shortcuts threaten to torpedo American workers. And they give no fucks about it. America's history of favorable treatment for immigrants is a window on the status of race and labor in our culture. Black American workers have been diminished by pro-immigration policy ever since slave labor built the country into an economic powerhouse. For example, America used preferential land and labor enticements to recruit European migrants in the mid 1960s. The mid 19th century, my bad. The CBC would be prudent to link the security of Black labor to the best practices recommended for an immigration reform, namely gaining control of the border, which Trump did with an executive order. Reducing illegal economic immigration, Trump did that. Reducing illegal economic immigration, Trump did that. Now he's taking away their money. Thank you. Go pathways to meet the demands of business for workers. First, the CBC should push for inclusive standards for Black labor in skilled industries that attract disproportionate concentrations of immigrant workers. It might propose language that mirrors Biden's March 22 Executive Order 14005, stating that the future is made in all of America by all of America's workers. The CBC might offer similar language in the upcoming debates on immigration legislation, specifically to prioritize the training of underrepresented Black African Americans. Come on now. In civil construction, that used to be our. I'm gonna ask StreamYard for my money back. It will reinforce the equity provisions. Yeah, I'm gonna ask for my money back. It would reinforce the equity provision established by Congress in the infrastructure and clean energy laws. The construction and manufacturing industry will receive a jump start from 500 billion, the Inflation Reduction Act, the 1.2 trillion infrastructure investment and jobs act, and complementary investments from private companies. It will pay to reconstruct highways, bridges, install electric charging stations, construct electric battery plants, and electric vehicle factories, and develop wind and solar power plants. Well, Trump got rid of all that. Thank you, God. My money back. I'll ask for my. The projects will require the hiring and training of thousands of skilled workers, many without college degrees. Yet Black labor historically has been excluded in civil construction. Today, 60% white, 30% Hispanic, and 5% Black American. And we used to be had taken out. Sanctuary cities like New York are receiving large allocations of federal funds. The city's construction industry employed 374,000 people in 2020 and 50% motherfucking. All right, I'm gonna end this. I'm coming right back with part